As I said in the previous video, this is the chart for Chuck Schumer, the minority leader in the Senate, currently controlled by the Republicans and Mitch McConnell. This time is verified, but could be off a minute or two in each direction, or perhaps even more. We do know, however, these degrees are active because he is currently in hot water over comments he made toward the Supreme Court that were deemed inappropriate, and he had to walk them back. This is classic Saturn going through an important point. And as I said in the previous video, if you want to get yourself into a jam, just look to a Saturn conjunction, square, or opposition, and you'll be in business. But that said, this chart overall is signaling some really powerfully positive energies in 2020, and especially around the election in November. The confluence of planets around this ascendant is very symbolically positive, especially Jupiter near these degrees. Pluto perhaps a little less so. Pluto would be next year and the year after. Then you see that Neptune, an elevated planet and always connected to celebrity status, popularity, acting as the popular voice for the collective at any given time, is transiting trine his midheaven. And I have to consider that a very positive factor as well. And then we have the natal moon in Taurus in the house of elections, contests, elections, and linked to the ascendant degrees by trine, and connected to the transiting planets from that area as well, the Capricorn planets in trine to the moon. Now, if we turn to the progressions, if we look at the progressed chart by itself, we see that he has Taurus rising in this case, but most importantly, we have an elevated sun in his natal chart. It's a 12th sign sun. In progression, it's highly elevated, very strong. And we also see the traveling part of fortune near Jupiter, and it could even be closer than this if the time is adjusted a little bit, because the part of fortune moves very quickly. But in either case, it's going to be very close to the Jupiter. That's, again, very fortunate. And now, again, for the symbolism, we see that the midheaven in the progressed chart is near the same degrees as his ascendant, which is all by itself very symbolic in a powerful way. But those Capricorn planets are also transiting through those very degrees. Here you see the progressions on the outside with the MC degrees in the late degrees of Capricorn. Notice the progressed ascendant, which is one of the most important moving points in a chart. Notice that it is trine his rising Mars. That's another very positive progression around the time of the election. And now, turning to solar arcs, you have to believe that this moon, which comes from the elections house, contests house, and is trining the ascendant, and it's in the sign of its exaltation, a very nice moon in this chart. Notice that in the solar arc movements, it's moved along this way, and now at election time, it'll be trine the sun. This is showing the solar arc for current time in March, but in solar arcs, you move forward about a degree per year, so it's effectively trining the sun and then Venus in his chart. You have to believe that's also a very positive solar arc that will support his chart in November of 2020. So, bottom line, my sense is that all of this points to the very real possibility that the Democrats regain the Senate in November. And as I said in the previous video, if that's the case, to me it suggests the presidency as well, because I don't see how the Senate is regained while the presidency is lost. It makes no sense at all. And I would have to say this is very good news for Democrats, and given the current administration we're currently under, I would say it's good news for the country as well.